Hello,
And welcome.
see, memers.
Well,
Let's take two. Oh, okay. Hello,
and welcome,
gamers,
memers
YouTubers,
and streamers
to the
to the
J Gay
JK
Dream Team.
Dream Team, where,
Our dreams will come alive.
yeah, or something like that, right?
Yeah, something. So
What's up?
today, as
What
the
we got?
title suggests, we are actually talking about a game that I wish I had a lot more time last year to play it. You see, I didn't dedicate as much time as I wanted to, but I did play it extensively on it, according to what Steam will have you believe, and also on Xbox. Um, you've played PSO2 a lot more extensively. You see,
Of course.
especially with the group that the our Dream Team group that we have. Um, so how about you start off with what you think about Fantasy Star?
Well, I think Fantasy Star 2 in general is a decent game. I mean, I'm a long time Fantasy Star fan, but I try to be unbiased about my opinion. But I've been playing Fantasy Star since back when it was on the GameCube. I played Fantasy Star 1 online. I played Fantasy Star Universe, which was actually around on the PlayStation around like 2006, 2007, before it got slowly shut down and kind of died. And then I play, Fantasy Star 2, when it came out over here in the West. And I gotta say, like, overall, I think it's pretty much true to its nature. It's legitimately, a Fantasy Star game. And some people might not know what that means. That's basically, like a kind of closed squad-based game where you essentially go out into regions. And like the overall scheme of things is to conquer the planet and you use lovely skills called photon arts to get things done, and overall, it's just a nice, good feel.
Yeah. So Fantasy Star is the for a long time. You see, we were waiting back 10 years, 9 years ago, trying to play this game.
Yeah,
We even tried
yeah,
to
for
figure
it to
out a
come
way to
west.
play on the Asian server at the time,
Yeah, I
and
remember that. I remember that.
you see, and like I would say in the last, I don't know, five years or so, this is
Hmm.
probably the most, like, the best full-fledged MMO game, like OG MMO game experience that the West gotten in a while.
For
So
sure, for sure.
I personally actually quite enjoyed um Fantasy Star 2.
Hmm.
I was a bouncer, gotta have that air game with my Jordans and shit. So
Wow,
so, so I loved it for that simple fact. And
yeah,
and we I'd say we had some good times with it.
for
New
sure.
new Genesis. So
New Genesis.
now we are getting almost a whole new game in
Yeah, I
essence.
mean, it's practically a remake at this point, right? Like they're pretty much, changing it from a closed world setting where, you just go in a squad to like almost a fully open world setting. I think it still has like a squad or party feel, but now you can explore a lot more area, a lot more region space. They are changing up the classes and how they work to some extent. The way the skill system works is going to be different. Just a lot of changes across the board. Most of the stuff's not going to carry over. So essentially, with the exception of a few things, is pretty much going to be treated like its own separate game.
So what's being carried over?
Mm. So what's being carried over is you will actually be able to keep your weapons from the previous game, although they will have different stats, which most likely will be lower, and some of the higher tier weapons you won't be able to use till later. The same applies for units, which for those of you that don't know, units is essentially the armor of the game. If you were to compare it to another RPG, and I believe you also get to keep the mag look, which your mags are these supportive units that kind of float behind you, if
Yeah,
you can
I
see on
think
the
like
video on the
pets or
screen there.
whatever.
Yes, and
Yeah.
they have like little things they can cast like little skills or abilities, and then they also allow you to execute some specials depending on what type of mag you have, and they also buff your stats. but I believe most of the mag system will be going away as far as like the stat buffs and maybe even the skills. But I think they are going to keep the looks, so you will actually get to have a lovely flowing thing behind your back that makes your character look a little extra cool, or just add to your outfit. But it won't be as useful or have as much utility as before.
So from what I've seen of New Genesis, which if you guys actually want to see us do any sort of gameplay or even stream us playing this game, let us know in the comments below.
Most
But
definitely let us know.
one thing I would say is that it like the New Genesis is looking smooth. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie, like it is looking smooth as hell. It's actually
yeah,
kind of give me that like not Terraria. Wow, wrong game. Terra feel.
So Terrafil, okay, I
Yeah.
got you. Well, I can definitely agree with you. I mean, the combat is definitely looking faster paced. A lot of the flow is much smoother. Like we don't have it here, but I remember seeing a Ranger video, which the Ranger was literally just sliding across the screen like shooting, which was actually insane in my opinion. And unfortunately, this Ranger isn't demonstrating that. But yeah, like a lot of combat is much more faster paced. It's a much more actiony feel, and you definitely a lot more dynamic as far as like how the characters play the game. And I think that's why they're taking the time to like really like hammer in the class remakes, because as most of you may or may not know, like only 6 classes of the 9 that currently exist will be available and released, with 3 of them being released at later dates. But yeah, ultimately it's looking very, very smooth, and I definitely look forward to at least trying it out and seeing how it feels.
So the 6 classes that aren't coming on release are Bouncer, Summoner,
And Braver, that would be the
Braver.
3.
Oh,
The
three.
3 that
Okay,
are
okay,
coming
3.
released.
Yeah,
No problem.
so 3 characters, and then also there's a new character that was announced that isn't coming
Yes.
later as well.
Yeah,
So
so they apparently are going to add a Gunblade class into the game, and that's going to be potentially after spring of next year.
so now I'm a little sad. I don't get
As
my
a bouncer main, of course.
I don't get my Aaron Jordans at the start of the game,
Yeah.
and even though this game was a game where you kind of wanted to play every class, I never played anything else, guys. I just wanted to like get my Nikes on and fly through the sky.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know about Bouncer pretty much just like skates across the air. It's very, very mobile. It flips and kicks and does all kind of fancy stuff. And our resident troll buddy over here loves to play the trolliest class. So in this case, it was Bouncer. But yeah, I was a Summoner main. Unfortunately, from what it looks like, Summoner may not be released until springtime next year. So that's at least 9 months after the game has been released. So very, very sad for me. At least Braver and Bouncer come very quickly, being June and July, respectively, according to the roadmap. But yeah, I'm sad to not see my main class either. So, yes, I want to play. And I will say this, maybe to give them some clout. Even though we can't play our main classes from the start, the system in which they have now is much different. So basically, you playing, for example, let's just say you start off as a ranger. When you level your ranger to level 20, all other classes will have access to the same amount of SP as if they were level 20, even if they're only level 1. So by the time your bouncer releases, for example, your bouncer will have been as if you played in level bouncer, even though you did not. While it may not have the levels, it will have all the skill points available for you to use. So you won't feel like you have to catch up too hard. You just have to like grind a little bit of levels, so it's not too bad.
So I think that goes for most of the known information, or at least most of the known information about how the gameplay is going to be. What is your feelings on this new take to PSO?
Like open world, I personally think, like, I honestly ain't gonna lie, like, because of the fact that I'm an old PSO2 fan, I definitely did like the closed system. I mean, as I've stated, and every time we talk about open world games, I'm always afraid they're gonna have the pond feel where they're very wide but very low in depth. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna add. I do like the way it looks. I think the world's very beautiful though. Like, and I mean, it gives more life to the game. Like the game was always like, you go to these planets and you're conquering them, like, right, you're a part of Ark and you guys are like culling aliens and making sure that make sure that the world is safe. and you're constantly dealing with threats and stuff like this. So I'm actually curious to see. I mean, even seeing some of the scenes, the monsters feel much bigger in nature compared to your size. You know what I mean? And they definitely have a more dynamic feel. I do like the updates to the fighting system, which makes it feels more Dark Soulish, where you can dodge straight through attacks, which was not available before. To some extent, you could, but like you had to have special skills, right? Now you got a lot more iframes, and almost every class has one. So I definitely like the way the combat has shaping up to be, and like the open world could add to that. With being able to travel left, right, up, down, vertically, and all that kind of stuff. Granted, that was there before, but just not in such a wide space. So definitely it definitely looks pretty. I will say that the graphic changes is amazing. Like if you compare the two, it's like night and day. So I'm definitely excited to see it. I'm definitely pumped up and definitely want to give it a try. But yeah, as always with open worlds, I'm a little skeptical. How about yourself?
Um, so, like I brought up before, Terra Online. It was a game that we've played extensively.
Of course.
And it's starting to give me that sort of feels. Now, my thing is that will they try? Like, will it be kind of like that where it is completely open world? You see your skill. See, it is all like you said, Dark Souls like combat where dodging and positioning plays a big key into the game. In how every class will work with that. I don't see I don't mind the open world aspect. We see I love open world games, though how how interactive is this open world? How are they going to make it feel like it isn't and this is a big thing with MMO games. It isn't just a wasteland, a wasteland. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, basically a big skin, right?
Yeah,
a big. It's a lot of nothing.
Yes. Yeah. How are they going to make it feel like it's not a lot of nothing?
Yeah,
You see,
that's why I say I don't like the ponds. I would definitely like it to be an ocean,
so
if possible.
so how is this open world going to be handled? It's been
Of course.
looking very pretty. Like I can't wait for my graphics card to run this thing at 2 frames a
Yeah.
second.
I'm souped up for the release, which is June 9th.
Yes,
So it's in a couple
in
days.
2 days. In 2 days, I think.
Yep.
When we release this video, so
Mm.
I mean, I'm looking forward into it.
I'm stoked, man.
We'll
Definitely stoked.
we'll definitely try it. We'll definitely give our first impressions and some
For sure.
gameplay on it.
Sure.
Feel free to hit the like button if you like the video. If you want more of this content, I know that we are releasing a lot of reactions, but if you like this talk topic on where we give you guys some information and discuss our feelings about us, please let us know in the comments below. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified if when our new videos come up, whether you guys want more of this, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah, thank you all for watching. Most appreciated, and tune in.
Yeah, keep the dream alive.
For sure. That's what we do around here.